Hello and welcome to my review of the Warhammer 40,000 First Strike starter set. I think I didn't communicate it well enough in my easy to build video that I did previously. I don't hate the set at all. I really love it actually. And it wasn't a knock on the set or anything like that. The way in which I did that video, I tried to put myself in the mind of someone completely new to the hobby. All you guys that watch my videos and things, and myself, we've been in the hobby probably for many, many years. We know how to build models, we know how to read instructions. So I was trying to put myself in a person that it's all completely new to them. So they'd open the box, they'd get all the sprues, they would probably sort of try and bend them or detach them from the sprues. They might use clippers, and then they would just go about and quickly try and push them together as quick as possible. Maybe I didn't communicate that well enough in that video. People got the impression from the content that that's how I normally make models, that I don't read instructions, that I don't properly clip things off sprues, things like that. You've seen my videos, I've got almost 1,000 videos now. That's not how I normally do it. I think that probably that direction was the wrong way to go about it. And from now on, I'll never put myself in that position. I'll make models the way I normally do make models, and I won't try and do it from the point of view sort of a newcomer to the hobby or anything like that, which is a shame because I like to explore new sort of avenues and new ways of doing the same thing, but I guess people just aren't ready for that, or they can't understand that. That being said, let's review this set. So it's £25, which is incredible value. It's pretty much like a quarter of the price of the main set. The box is tiny. I mean, just to sort of do a comparison, there's a phone. Maybe I should put a banana in the shop, but yeah, there's a phone. So it's a small box. It's really tightly packed and things. And I've actually got all the miniatures and things in here. So you can reuse the box to store all of the models and the rules and things like that, and then there you go, that's your game. It's all in there, and you can just open it up and play a small game whenever you wish. It's very quick and easy to sort of set up. Obviously I read all the comments. This easy to build, for all of us hobbyists that are already in the hobby, we sort of understand what easy to build means. Usually it's push to fit, but from a newcomer point of view, I would have liked it to say, you know, push to fit, and then have an example of the model being pushed to fit, if that makes sense, rather than easy to build. Because in my opinion, a model that has the same number of stages as a model in the big set, with the only difference being you can just push it, it's just not easy to build in my opinion. Because with the models that you'll see in here, I've gone through all of the same steps as I would have gone through with the main set. That involved clipping them off the sprue, filing all the mould lines off, and then gluing them together. Yeah, it gives you the option where you don't need to do that, but I still went through all those steps, and to paint them, I still need to spray them too. So the only difference from easy to build and the miniatures you get in the main set, which, let me just reiterate, are monopose, can only be put in one position, and usually contain the same number of pieces, is just this push fit ability. I just think that maybe having the push to fit instead of the easy to build might have been a better choice. Right, so let's just open it up. So if you've seen the unboxing, you will have seen that it contains all of the miniatures you pretty much need, and the gamer mat, things like that. So I've made all of these. I'll be doing reviews of all of these new models separately, and they'll be coming to the channel very, very soon. Okay, now that I've set the miniatures up, you get two collections of finely detailed miniatures. You get the Death Guard, and you get the Space Marines, or Primaris Space Marines. You get 6 Potswalkers. If you check out my review, I'll go through the differences between these and the ones you get in the main set. When I mean main set, whenever I refer to main set, I obviously mean the Dark Imperium set. So you get 6 of those. All of them are different. There's not one that is the same, which is great. And also you get 3 Death Guard Plague Marines. Again, they're all different. You get 3 Primaris Reaver Space Marines. I've already seen the box set. There are pictures going around of the box set, which has, I think, 10 of them in. Even one with like a grapple hook, which is pretty awesome. And I think they don't have helmets. There might be an option for helmets in that set, but we'll have to wait and see. Also, you get 3 Primaris Intercessors. Again, check out my reviews because I do compare them to the main set. So you get this mat, which is reversible. On the other side there are circles with letters, which is sort of deployment zones and things. You get 6 dice, which is fantastic, and you get like a little range ruler type thing for your movement, you know, for your 6-inch movements. You also get your transfer sheet. Transfer sheet, this is really if you want to base coat the models and paint them, but you can just have this set as it is for all eternity if you really want it. You don't have to paint them, you could just have them as green and blue. I mean, on the back they obviously show them fully painted, but for that you're going to need can of green spray, that's like 12 quid, can of black spray, that's like 11 quid, that's 24 quid. Then you need your paints, which are like £2.50 a pot. If you want to have these permanent fixtures rather than push to fit, you're going to have to buy your glue, your file, paint brushes, things like that. So before long, just like the main starting set, the price can escalate a little bit. Then you also get your build guide, which is in the same sort of vein as the main set. I did make a point about easy to build, sort of 7 pieces, and the option to glue them or not. If you don't glue them, the chances are they are going to be falling to pieces if you keep them in the box. Definitely glue them, and definitely you know, take off the mold lines and things like that. I think I also mentioned that I thought that they were sort of pre-painted. They're not, they're just different colour plastic. If you can see that, it is just blue plastic that they've used. So from a startup point of view, that's great because you got 2 different coloured armies from the get-go. From a painting point of view, you're still going to need to spray them blue or black, and again, spray them green for the Death Guard. You get your Read This First booklet, which is actually quite a great booklet and a good introduction to the hobby. Gives you all the sort of background information of the 2 armies. Then it gives you an advert for buying the No Fear set, which this, in my opinion, is a better set. If you didn't get the Dark Imperium set, then this is still quite a good set, and it's a good way of sort of bolstering your armies. However, the releases for these really are just on the horizon. It looks like you get a similar sort of landing pad than this box of crates, and it looks like you get a similar mat. It looks like the mat is bigger, and in a way I would have thought you could use it in conjunction with this one. However, all of the models are exactly the same as what you get in the main set. You get your 5 Hellblasters, you get 5 Intercessors, the Captain, 3 Interceptors. You don't get the Ancients, and you don't get another squad of 5 Intercessors. Likewise with the Death Guard, you only get 10 Poxwalkers instead of the 20, and you don't get the Playcaster and the Blightbringer, but you get everything else, including the voted bloat drone. Buying the paint set, you've got enough there to paint a Primaris Space Marine to look a little bit like that. So you're only going to get your blue and your black and your Balthazar gold, and then it just goes on and it starts with the deployment methods. So you've got an overview, gathering the troops, set up and commence battle. So it says Poxwalkers move 4 inches, got to be within 2 inches of each other, gives you the range of 18 inches. It's going to be tricky to sort of work out 18 inches with this little thing, but I understand obviously that you can't fit an 18-inch range ruler in the little set, so it might be worth getting a tape measure for those kind of ranges. And it introduces you to sort of all of the different stages, the move, shoot, charge, fight stages in 8th edition. And then it talks about advanced rules, different grenades, plague weapons, plague weapons and so on. Reinforce your army, so they then advertise the easy to build or push to fit squads of sort of 3. I don't know why they've used the same Reaver there, but they have, because that's not completely true. You get 2 different looking Reavers, so you get this Reaver as well, as opposed to this one which they've just advertised and they've just copy and pasted that. So that's a little bit sort of misleading, but I'm sure people can work that out. So that's the Read the First book set. That's to read the first book. Then you've got the core rules, which looks very similar to the one that you get in the main game. I actually prefer it in book form. I mean, it's up to you whether you prefer it in book form or whether you like it as a card sheet. They both have the pros and cons. I will say that the font is nicer in the book. It's bigger. That font is just diabolical. My eyesight isn't terrible, but that is just, it's probably a size 6 or 7 maybe. It's really, really small. Whereas the book, it does have sort of 18 pages. But it does have all of the phases, the morale phase, the fight phase, charge phase. So it's just a book form of this, but with bigger writing. And to me, it looks easier to follow, in my opinion. But there you go. That's the core rules book. And then finally, you also get these wonderful pieces of artwork, which are just incredible. I really like these. They really sort of set the tone. Even a Morton Joe. Yeah, they're just fantastic. And obviously on the back, they have the data sheets, which are pretty much 8th edition data sheets. Just as an example, I'll just compare them to the ones in the main set. So let's just, for instance, look at the Intercessor squad. Now, I don't know what it is, but the ones on the cards just look nicer. They're easier to read. I do like the sort of the highlighted colour at the top rather than the same colour as the back of the page. I think it's just easier to follow. Likewise, with the weapons highlighted with the blue, I find that easier to follow. And the lighter sort of colour behind the weapons, there's no real need to backdrop shadow to those, and it works better on this this sheet. I got a question on my Instagram of, well, are they even 8th edition? They are, and you can have 3. It's just a power level of 4 instead. They've got exactly the same rules: crack grenades, movement, strength, wounds, attacks. It's just you have a sergeant and 2 intercessors, and they've got the same rules and everything like that, and their troops. So they're just power level 4 instead of the 6. So for the extra 2 power level, you're getting, 2 more intercessors. According to this, you could use. It doesn't specifically say anywhere in this box set or in the main game, main rule book, that you can't use, this from First Strike. I mean, I totally understand if the rules were completely different and they were, had different attributes and things, but they are the same. So I wouldn't see any problem if someone wanted to use a power level 4 squad of 3 intercessors if they really wanted. And the same goes for the other data sheets. I mean, obviously we haven't had the codex out yet. I'm assuming it's out this month, which pretty much only leaves us next weekend to pre-order. I'm sure it'll be out for pre-order next weekend, and we'll see how this differs for the Reaver squad, where you can have 3 or you can have sort of up to 10. Same goes for the Plague Marine and Potswalkers, which again I'm probably assuming is going to be August. So there you go, you get these lovely data sheets too. So in summary, it is really one of the best sets I've seen Games Workshop produce in many years. For £25 you get so much, it's unbelievable. As I said before, I think nowadays you can get, a tactical Space Marine squad for £25 or so. Yes, you're not getting 10 Space Marines, but you are getting 6 of the new Primaris Space Marines, but you're also then getting 9 Death Guard. You're getting the 6 Potswalkers, which are different than in the main set. You're getting the 3 Death Guard, again, different in the set. And likewise, the Reavers are new and different. And the Intercessors, I think there's sort of 2 models that are close to the main set, but like I say, check out my separate reviews of those. You're also getting your dice, your range ruler, your background information, your rules, some transfers, the mat, which is double-sided, and you're getting a little bit of scenery too. So for £25, it really is a fantastic value set. If you've got a Death Guard army, or if you've got Primaris Space Marine army, and you're building them from the Dark Imperium set, it really is a great set just to buff those forces too, because there's no real reason why you couldn't use both of those lieutenants as Primaris and have them in another squad of 5. There's no reason why you can't separate your Death Guard units and have 2 units, but Poxwalkers you can only have sort of 10, or have them in a squad of 10 or 20. However, these 6 are going to be great to add to that unit once they start using the Curse of the Walking Pox, which is pretty decent. Anyway, as you can probably tell, I'm a big fan of this set. I think it's great value and one of the best sets that GW have provided, and it comes in such a small sort of package. It's great for if you're completely new to 40k too, because it doesn't really break the bank. It's a good little set to start off with. You don't really need glue. You don't really need paints. You can just buy it and then you've got it, and you know, you can test out the 8th edition. Anyway, what do you guys think? Put it in the comments below. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.